Okay, so I want to start this deep dive by throwing a statement at you that might actually sting a little.
Oh boy.
And I'm warning you in advance. When I first read this, my immediate reaction was to get defensive. I actually felt a little, insulted.
I think I know exactly which line you're pulling from the stack.
We do.
It's the title of the main piece we're covering today, isn't it?
It is. Are you ready? Here it is. You want to be special, but you're just average.
Ouch. Yeah, that lands like a physical punch. It triggers that immediate reflex in your brain that just screams, no, I'm not. I'm unique.
I have unlimited potential.
Exactly. In our culture, and especially for the kind of people listening to this, people who love learning, high achievers being called average feels like a slur.
It does. It sounds like failure. It sounds like you gave up.
But, and this is why we are dedicating the entire deep dive to this today, unpacking that one sentence might actually be the most liberating thing you can do for your brain, your schedule, and frankly, your sanity. I completely agree. It sounds like an insult, but the source material frames it as more of an invitation.
An invitation to what? To give up.
An invitation to be strategic. So we're diving into an essay by a writer named Chick Moment. It was published just recently, mid-February 2026. The piece is titled, well, you know the title.
You want to be special, but you're just average.
That's the one.
And we aren't just looking at the essay itself. We've also pulled some really, really good insights from the comment section.
Oh, the comments were gold.
Yeah.
Specifically from users named Dorothy and Aurora.
Right, because they provide these perfect, almost painful case studies of what happens when you refuse to accept being average.
The struggle is so real. I mean, the core tension here is this crushing ambition so many of us carry around. We want to be a specialist. We want to be the absolute best in whatever field we touch.
Whether it's your career, your hobbies, even how you make your coffee in the morning, everything has to be optimized.
And the source argues that this ambition, paradoxically, is exactly what keeps us stuck.
So that's the mission for today. We need to figure out why this fear of being average is actually a limitation, not a motivator.
And break down a framework for how embracing mediocrity, actually aiming for it in some areas, is the only way to get excellent at the things that really truly matter to you.
Okay, so where do we start?
It comes down to resource allocation. But before we can fix the schedule, we have to fix the psychology. The source material identifies this very specific paralysis that stops us before we even begin.
The why bother trap, I know this one well.
Right. It's that feeling where you look at a potential hobby, a project, and you just kill it before you even start. The author uses this great, slightly hyperbolic example.
Let me guess. It's the one about global warming.
Yeah. You won't write an essay because you haven't figured out how to stop global warming yet.
Which sounds absurd when you say it out loud. But we do this. I have done this. The logic is, if I can't do something absolutely groundbreaking, why do it at all?
Right. If I can't write the next great novel, why bother with a journal entry?
Yeah, or on the creative side, too. The author mentions things like making music or, what was it, ceramic mugs.
Ceramic mugs, sewing, yeah. We tell ourselves, well, I didn't start playing violin at age 3 like a prodigy, so it's obviously too late to pick it up at 30.
It's this all or nothing thinking. Either I'm a world-class virtuoso or I am wasting my time. There's no middle ground for just doing it for fun.
And what's fascinating is digging into why we think that. It's fear, of course, but it's not just the fear of failure.
What is it then?
It's the fear of identity. It's the terror of starting something and then realizing, oh no, I'm just okay at this.
That is the nightmare scenario for a high achiever. Not failing spectacularly, but just being fine.
No,
Average?
The source outlines this really destructive loop. It goes, we won't be good at the new thing because we won't start it.
And we won't start it because we don't want to be bad at it.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You stay at 0 because you're afraid of being a 5 out of 10.
And there's shame in there too, right? The text mentioned that.
A deep sense of shame. This really stuck out to me. The author points out, we feel ashamed that we can't show off to others immediately.
Oh, the Instagram effect.
Exactly. If the activity isn't productive, or if we can't post the result and get 100 likes, we feel like it's a waste of time. We've lost the ability to just do things for the sake of doing them.
We're denying ourselves joy because we can't monetize it or get social validation.
Precisely. And this leads us to the analytical core of the essay. This is where we move from the psychology to what I would call the math of attention.
I love this part because it takes the emotion out and makes it a logic problem. We all think we can do everything right, that we have unlimited bandwidth.
We do. But the author breaks it down. We have a finite amount of energy. The problem is we struggle to distinguish between things we want to improve on, our life's work,
Yeah.
and things that are just meant to be a pleasant addition.
Okay, so walk us through the equation. How does the math fail when we try to be Superman?
Okay, so imagine you have two activities. Activity A is a deep passion. Let's say it's your career or a novel you're writing.
Got it.
And activity B is a hobby. Let's say learning to bake sourdough bread.
Okay. Passion versus hobby. Classic showdown.
The problem is your ego refuses to be average at the sourdough.
Of course not. You have to be the best baker and the best writer.
Exactly. So you try to give 100% effort to the passion and 100% effort to the hobby.
Which is mathematically impossible. You don't have 200% to give. You're a human, not a power plant.
So what actually happens?
Yeah.
You unintentionally split your resources. You end up giving 50% to the writing.
And 50% to the baking.
Yeah. And 50% isn't enough to be great at the writing.
No, not at all. That's the tragedy.
You need that 100% focus to really break through in your passion. But here's the kicker. 50% is way more effort than you needed to put into the baking just to enjoy it.
So you're overworking the hobby and underworking the passion.
And the result, you become average at everything. You're a mediocre writer because you're distracted, and you're a stressed out baker because you're trying way too hard.
Wow, that is the paradox. By trying to be special at everything, you guarantee that you will be special at nothing.
Because you couldn't prioritize. You wouldn't let yourself be bad at the hobby, so you stole energy from the passion.
That hits hard. It really frames being average not as a failure, but as a strategic choice.
It is a transaction. You are buying excellence in one area by paying with mediocrity in another.
Okay, so let's get practical. The author proposes a framework to fix this, the two categories framework.
Yes, and the advice is to honestly assign every single activity in your life to one of two buckets. And you have to be brutal. You cannot put everything in the top bucket.
Okay, let's break down bucket number one. This is category one, be average.
This is the recreation bucket. And the definition here is crucial. These are things you do not need to focus on intensely. You don't need to spend hours perfecting the skill.
So lower the bar.
Bury the bar. The expectation is that it's okay not to be regular. It's okay if your progress is slow. It's okay if you suck.
It is okay if you suck. I think we need to put that on a t-shirt.
The goal isn't mastery. The goal is that it's a side activity. It's a palate cleanser for your brain. It calms you down. It should not be another source of stress.
The example in the source is learning a language, which I think is perfect because that usually carries so much pressure.
So much pressure. Everyone says, oh, if you aren't fluent, why bother?
Right.
In category one, you learn a language just to communicate basic things on a trip. You want to order a coffee, say hello, ask where the bathroom is. You are not trying to become a fluent native speaker who can debate philosophy.
And if you stop trying to read Tolstoy in the original Russian, you might actually enjoy ordering the coffee.
Exactly. You accept your averageness because it serves its purpose, it's functional, it's fun, and it's done. You don't lose sleep over grammar tables.
Which brings us to category two, be the best.
This is the passion bucket. These are the things worth your sacrifices.
And the vibe here is totally different. This isn't about fun in that light, easy sense.
No. The expectation here is that 1 hour of learning isn't enough. You don't give up after a week. This requires discipline, daily improvement, grit. The goal here is mastery. This is where you put your 100%.
The author uses their own life to illustrate this, right, with painting and writing.
Yes, it's a great case study.
Yeah.
So the author started painting. And very quickly they realized, I'm not a professional, I'm not a genius at this.
Their trees look like blobs.
Right. And most of us would quit there. We'd say, well, I'm no Picasso, so why bother buying the canvas?
True.
But the author made a shift. They put painting firmly into category one. They just accepted it as relaxation, a way to exercise imagination.
And the source describes this as a liberating feeling, to just go with the flow without worrying about the end result.
Because the painting doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't have to support a career or impress anyone. But then you compare that to how they treat writing. For the author, writing is category two.
Yeah, the commitment there is intense. They talk about doing research, enriching vocabulary, wanting to publish.
Yeah.
It sounds like work.
It is work. And this is key. They talk about looking at their old essays from a year ago.
Oh, right. That feeling of cringe when you read your old stuff. We've all been there.
But notice the difference in reaction. When they look at old writing, they see how it could be better. Now, for a category one hobby, feeling your past work was bad might make you quit. But for a category two passion,
Looking at past failure is just evidence of progress.
That's it. It's a sign you're growing. They are willing to do things for writing, like suffer through editing, deal with criticism, that they're simply not willing to do for painting.
And that's such a healthy boundary. You shouldn't be willing to suffer for your relaxation hobbies.
If your hobby is stressing you out, you've miscategorized it. You're treating a Category 1 activity like a Category 2 job.
Okay, so we've got this framework. It sounds clean on paper, but implementing it is messy, which is why I want to bring in those community perspectives.
Yes, let's talk about Dorothy. Her comment was a bit of a tragic warning, honestly.
Oh man, Dorothy. She commented that she'd been trying to juggle, get this, 8 different passions at the same time.
8? I get tired just thinking about 8 things.
Right. She couldn't choose an occupation, so she just decided, I'm going to do all of them.
And how did that work out?
Well, she said after a couple of months, she realized she felt like she was doing something, but when she looked closer, she wasn't.
That's the pink glasses effect she mentions. What a great term for that.
That's perfect.
You put on the pink glasses and you feel busy. You feel productive because you're spinning 8 plates. But if you take the glasses off and look at the hard results,
You haven't actually moved forward on any of them. It's the 50% math again, but divided by 8.
exactly, you're giving you, what, 12% to everything? You're not even average. You're just skimming the surface. You're dabbling.
Which is fine if it's Category 1, but Dorothy wanted these to be passions.
She did. Her fix was that she had to reevaluate. She had to take off the pink glasses and demote some of those passions to Category 1.
She said she kept them, but with different perspectives, which is such a healthy way to put it. You don't have to kill your hobbies, just change the perspective. Tell yourself, I'm allowed to be bad at this one.
And then there was Aurora. Her struggle was a bit different. It wasn't about volume, it was about perfectionism.
Yeah, in her writing, she said she struggles with that frustration that her current skill level just isn't matching her taste level.
A classic creative struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But her realization fits perfectly. She said if she waited until the writing felt perfect to start, that day would literally never come.
Improvement only comes by doing. You have to be willing to write the average essay to eventually write the great one.
It connects right back to the author's point about looking at old work. If you never produce the average work now, you have no stepping stones to reach excellence later.
You have to build a foundation of mediocrity to stand on.
It's a great line. A foundation of mediocrity.
Uh,
It sounds terrible, but it's the structural base of everything great.
right.
You can't build the penthouse without the basement.
So, what does this all mean for us? For the person listening right now who has a to-do list a mile long and feels guilty about all of it,
I think the synthesis here is counterintuitive, but really powerful. You must be average at something in order to be perfect at something else.
it's that transaction again.
It is. There's no shame in being average at hobbies. In fact, being average at hobbies protects your brain and your time. It reserves your limited supply of excellence for what truly defines you.
And the author makes a really grand point about this at the end. They say, if people followed the rule of get it right the first time or resign, humanity would know nothing and have nothing.
Think about that. Every invention, every great work of art, it all started as a messy prototype, a bad first draft. If we demanded instant perfection, we'd still be in the Stone Age.
It's funny, we accept that for humanity. We know progress is messy, but we don't accept it for ourselves on a Tuesday night when we're trying to learn a new skill.
We hold ourselves to an impossible standard. We need to be kinder. We need to allow ourselves the freedom of being average so we can enjoy the pursuit of being great where it counts.
So here is my challenge to you, the listener. I want you to think about your life right now. Your hobbies, your side projects.
Which one are you killing by trying to be perfect at it?
Exactly. Which activity is stressing you out because you're demanding Category 2 results from a Category 1 activity?
Maybe it's your fitness routine. You're trying to be an Olympian when you just need to move your body. Maybe it's learning guitar. Maybe it's even just reading books, trying to read only the smartest ones instead of what you actually enjoy.
Whatever it is, I want you to pick one thing today, just one, and decide consciously, I am going to be proudly, happily average at this.
Let it be the thing that relaxes you, not another thing that judges you.
And see how much lighter you feel. It might just free up the energy you need to be spectacular somewhere else. That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening and enjoy being average.
At least it's some things. Until next time.